Hey, Shalom, Yasharala, peace be to the nation of Israel, whom are the modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, Speckled Israelites being Israelite foreigners scattered across the four corners of the earth, including in America, Babylon the Great, and we are the Most High, Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in ancient Hebrew, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach, Wadash, which is all praises to Heavenly Father, Yahweh. In the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and Holy Spirit, whom is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm going to utter Mashanah, Kabawadim, Lahasakwanim, Shalom, Gadarabaka, meaning double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone on down, and Shalom, honor salutations to Bayah Shada Wadah, the house of David. All right, see fellow servant Malak Rayash, back at it again. Another Harm God One update, all right, mildly known as World War III, all right, one of the most crucial end time prophecies that will further lead into the destruction of the main place of our captivity. All right, Babylon the Great. All right, the great land of confusion, is wicked, demonic, effeminate queendom of the man of sin and son of perdition. All right, which will lead into the everlasting rulership of Yasharala. All right, and it's another rumor of war of U.S. military bases being put on alert, or America, Babylon the Great, being put on alert for quote unquote rising terror attacks on these U.S. military bases in Europe. All right, so I'm going to read the headline. It says U.S. military raises terror alert at European bases, reports. It says multiple U.S. military bases in Europe are under a heightened state of alert for a terrorist attack against U.S. military personnel or facilities, multiple media outlets reported Sunday. It says the bases include the U.S. Army garrison in Stuttgart, Germany, where the U.S. European Command headquarters is located, which raised its alert level to force protection condition Charlie on Sunday, two U.S. officials told CNN. This level is raised when an incident occurs or intelligence is received indicating some form of terrorist action or targeting against personnel or facilities is likely, per the U.S. Army. Now, Esau is being very bland or very, very bland, okay, with his report on this quote-unquote anticipated terror attack, all right, for the fact that they're really referring to the bear in Revelation 13th chapter being the modern-day king of the Medes, as in Russia, all right, so they're being very vague and bland with their approach and who they're really referring to, because case in point, it's not a coincidence that, in that article, all right, in that particular article, we had, going into, U.S. military being put on alert in America, Babylon the Great, due to these so-called terror attacks threatening their bases in Europe, regarding their U.S. military personnel facilities. It's not a coincidence that about a month ago, it was reported that Russia, as you can see here, says on Business Insider, Putin said Russia could send long-range weapons around the world to those who want to strike Western facilities. Okay, so as a result of this Ukraine proxy war being used by the Edomites of America on behalf of the wicked elite, throne of iniquity, all right, using these war provocations to further bring forth this new world order agenda, okay, which will include, which would require an attack by Russia, so they could justify retaliating out of self-defense. Okay. So now, as a result, of these war provocations, mainly within the Ukraine proxy war, Russia has started to supply the enemies of America and NATO with ballistic weapons and hypersonic missiles to strike these Western facilities and ultimately aim for the source being America, Babylon the Great. So I'm going to start off with this first precept in St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, and it says, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, the end of Esau, Edom, is not yet, for the fact that his empire is going to have to be destroyed before the empire of Jacob, Yasharala, okay, will take his place in rulership under Yahweh Shai. Okay, where we're going to rule under our king, Malak Dawadah, on this earth forever. Okay. which is part of the inheritance of our heritage. So it says in St. Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, including the rumors of wars of these various kingdoms of the heathen threatening the security of America. So that leads me to this next article on so I can go back to Newsbreak, dealing with Iran. All right, modern day Persia of Elam. This is on Washington Examiner. Says Iran warns that all options are on the table if Israel launches offensives against Lebanon. It says Iran has issued a stark warning to Israel about what would happen if the Amalekite state launches a full-scale attack on Lebanon in response to strikes from Lebanon-based Hezbollah. All right, so jumping down, says Iran has a massive arsenal of weapons, including missiles that can reach up to 2,000 miles away. Hezbollah also has its own arsenal, including 150,000 rockets and missiles. All right, jumping down here to the point. I'm jumping back up to the point anyway. Let me see where it's located. Yeah, so I'm not sure where it's at. Yeah, here it is. So since the October 7th Hamas attack that ignited the most recent conflict in Gaza, Hezbollah has launched over 1,000 attacks on Israel, the state of Israel, to show solidarity with Hamas. The group was formed in 1982 as a revolt against the occupation of southern Lebanon by Israel. Iran is a major funder of Hezbollah. So these are the very nations that Putin was offering to send these long-range weapons to around the world, who have interest in striking Western facilities for compromising their national security and sovereignty, man. Okay, going into the wine in Jeremiah the 51st chapter. Okay, how that wine, that Western philosophy, okay, has been a thorn in the side of these other heathen nations on behalf of their governments, okay, and a burden on their shoulders, and so that they're gonna they're prophesied to band together in a mutual consensus to destroy America, Babylon the Great. Okay, the main place of their common issues. So this is grab this next precept in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38 and verse 10. And it reads, thus said the Lord God Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come to thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. All right. And these evil thoughts will come to the mind of the modern day king of the Medes, of modern day Magog, as it mentions, as it prophesies in the second verse. Okay, which is Russia. All right, Ezekiel 30:11 says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. All right, we're referring to America's lack of security, like the former retired Edomite General Mark Milley had admitted that America cannot possibly defend itself against the hypersonic missiles of Russia and China. All right, and even these other nations are being supplied these very weapons, like North Korea and Iran. All right, by way of their military alliance with Russia. Okay, so not a coincidence that Russia held a military drill in the Caribbean recently, which is only about 100 kilometers away from the Florida coast, man. So that war is on the doorstep of America. Okay, a repeat of history of the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, and this time, America is not going to escape the depths of war. Okay, because now, like it says in Galatians 6 chapter, now it's time for you Edomites, you self-proclaimed white people, you men of sin and sons of perdition, all right, to reap what you have sown, all right, which is death and destruction in the earth, which are part of your wicked, carnal, satanic nature. Okay. And many that follow after and marvel after your beast system and follow after your wicked satanic counsel will be destroyed as well. Especially those who takes that ship, all right, within the hour of our temptation, the mark of the beast. All right. So this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. They're in a frenzy. All right, because of what was mentioned early in this epistle of you continuing to push their buttons. So this is on sonar21.com. It says Russia tells U.S. ambassador, we are no longer at peace. Like it says in Isaiah 48 and 22, there should be no peace to the wicked. All right. So it says, a chilling and alarming statement. Sergei Lavrov summoned U.S. Ambassador Lynn Tracy to the Russian Foreign Ministry and delivered a stinging demarche in response to the use of U.S. supply cluster munitions in the attack on Russian civilians sunbathing on the shores of the Black Sea. Press reports offer this summary of the Russian position. Okay, Washington has effectively become a party to the war on Ukraine's side, the ministry said in a statement, adding retaliatory measures will certainly follow. It did not elaborate. But my friend Alexander Mercuris provided a more detailed summary of what was said. I have been unable to find a link to what the Russian Foreign Ministry represented to Ambassador Tracy, but Alexander reports that the Russia message included this phrase, we are no longer at peace. While stopping short of declaring war, the line between peace and war has been erased. This should scare the hell out of the politicians and public in America. Okay? Not much more further for the fact that once again, all right, that military drill that Russia has been hosting down in the Caribbean, all right, down in Cuba, all right, where the tribe of Manasseh predominantly dwells, they have reportedly been seen within their warships within about 100 kilometers away from the Florida coast. So that means that their missiles can reach the East Coast in only 2 minutes, man, or under 2 minutes. So eventually, America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, like it's prophesied in Jeremiah 49 chapter. Every city in Babylon the Great, all 50 states in America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed. Okay, because it is a sinful kingdom, a sinful, wicked, satanic, effeminate kingdom, man. All right, promoting all manners of sexual decadence and perverseness and madness. All right, so segue over to this last article on MSN.com. It says World War III on brink as Russia advised to demonstrate nuclear explosion to scare West. It says Dmitry Sulov, a top figure at the Moscow-based Council for Foreign and Defense Policy, has put forward the idea of Russia carrying out a demonstrative nuclear detonation, a move that could prompt the start of World War III. And it's not that it could, it's that it will. Okay, before it's all said and done, the foreseeable future, not the distant future, America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed by her enemies. All right. It says this alarming suggestion arises as tensions with the West intensify due to Ukraine's use of Western-supplied weaponry against Russian forces. Suzlov's think tank, known to occasionally sway government policy, made this proposal public shortly after President Vladimir Putin delivered a grave warning to NATO countries. Putin warned that if Ukraine were to employ Western arms for attacks on Russian soil, it could spark a worldwide crisis, reinforcing his point with threats of severe repercussions. All right. Says Ukraine's officials maintain that hitting Russian military sites within Russia using long-range Western missiles is essential for their defense and to thwart air missile and drone assaults. Some Western nations have shown sympathy for this view, though the U.S. has not given its backing. Reports the Express U.S. reported. So, ironically, for the fact that you devils, feel the need or necessity of striking Russia with long-range Western missiles, being essential, quote-unquote, essential for your defense. Okay, well, through the spirit, it's not a coincidence that Russia's Putin feels the exact same way, which is why, he recently offered to provide these, these nations around the world to those, quote unquote, those who want to strike Western facilities. Okay, and he's referring to his allies who have those aspirations in mind, and the rest of America's enemies. Okay, because like it says in Jeremiah 49 chapter, the devil's going to be surrounded, man. Okay, because your unwalled villages, okay, are going to be torn down. Okay, including your NATO military bases. Okay, So this is back in Jeremiah 51:9. It says, we would have, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And this place can't be healed from the wickedness, the spiritual fornication in this place. Okay, heavy idolatry through the Semiramis worship. Okay, the sodomy, as we just, we have recently departed Sodomite month. Okay, all right. And where we're feminists and moles, hoes and moles could simultaneously glorify and glamorize, themselves within their pride of being degenerates, man. Okay. So the only thing that can cleanse that is a cleansing agent, which is a fire through this last world's war. This is Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches to heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, our power. Make bright the arrows, which are the nukes, the flying swords, in Isaiah the 34th chapter. Gather the shields. The Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, the vengeance of his temple. Here's the point in verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Okay? All right, so your unwalled villages, and you're, are being prepared to be destroyed through the ambushes of your enemies, through the devices of your enemies. Okay, which are the weapons of the indignation of the Lord. Okay, by way of the miracles, of this thermonuclear technology that he has blessed the minds of the heathen to establish. Right, going back to the Manhattan Project during the time of J. Oppenheimer. You see, so everything that's written was written aforetime for our learning. That way, through patience and comfort of scriptures, we may have hope. Okay, and in the day of trouble. Okay, like it says in Joshua 1:9, everywhere we go, the Lord Yahweh by Shemashah is with us, man. Only with the elect of the elect. All right, by Yashadawadah, and the rest of the 1/3 elect, men and women of the children of Israel. Okay, so I'm gonna end this off in the book of actually I'm going to get Jeremiah 49:31. It says, arise, get you up to the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, that golden city. Okay, wealthy by way of the slave labor of the captive Jerusalem. Okay, the cotton fields, tobacco fields, and sugar fields for the prophesied in St. James 5th chapter and so forth. So from the top it says, arise, get you up to the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, said the Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone. All right, because you're gonna be surrounded, man. You devils are being surrounded. And Russia was only about 100 kilometers away from Florida, man. So biblical prophecy being further fulfilled is screaming at this point. Okay, and that's why you devils should be afraid, and that's why you're expressing that fear externally by looking to outlaw the Bible, because it's a burden onto you, exposing your wickedness. Jeremiah 49:32, and their camels shall be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil, and I will scatter into all winds them that are in the utmost corners, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof, said the Lord, Yahweh by Shemashah. Okay. So it's over for you Edomites. Job 18:11, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready to sight. Okay. So your appetite for destruction, your appetite for global prosperity and leverage is going to come to a halt. Okay, because again, your main headquarters of the wickedness, the hammer of the earth, and the wicked covering cast of the entire earth, America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed. Thus said the Lord. Verse 13, it shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, which is Abinah Yahweh, the man of war. Verse 15, it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. Okay, which is America, Babylon the Great. Okay, last precept, Psalm 7:16. Says his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate, like it says in Revelation 18 chapter. Okay, just how America was established off of carnality and violence, or carnality, which is violence, and witchcraft, is how she's going to fall. by the hand of her enemies, ironically, through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem and Shai by Shem Kakodash. So with that, I'm going to end this off, and pray this epistle is further edifying, exhorting to elect, and give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom was the God of a living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baharash, and bless with this truth and the spirit to do not of epistle. And with that, Abad Babal, Wa Mawaf Lababal, Shalom, Labachayim, and on to the next one.